Hello, hello. Now, before I begin, I'm just going to tell you that I'm not going to spoil anything about this film. But as a result, I may be a little vague on certain details about the film, because obviously, for people who haven't seen this film yet and don't want to be spoiled anything about this film, they did look like they haven't researched anything about this film at all. They want to go in it completely not knowing what it's about. There's going to be some massive reveals when you see this film. So, yeah, for those people who have not seen this film and don't want to be spoiled any detail about this film whatsoever, I'm going to try and make sure that I don't spoil any details. Okay? Here we go. This film felt a lot more like a Star Trek film than the previous one did. I like the original. I like the 2009 version, but it didn't really feel so much like a Star Trek film as such. It felt like it was just a sci-fi film with the name Star Trek on it. Not that was a bad thing as such, though, because the franchise desperately needed rebooting. It needed a new, a fresh look, should we say. And I think the 2009 film did that perfectly. But this film, Star Trek Into Darkness, this film felt very much like a Star Trek film because it's got, let's just say, it pays a bit more closer attention to the source material, you could say. Now, the characters, they play their parts really well. Zachary Quinto is great as Spock as usual. My favourite, I have to say, from the crew has to be Carl Urban as Bones. Carl Urban, like in the first film, he was a big surprise for me though, because I didn't think Carl Urban would be that good as Bones, and I was completely wrong. He is fantastic. You definitely do buy him as a younger Bones. You could see that he could easily be Bones as his younger self. Now, for the villain, Benedict Cumberbatch, he plays a really, really good villain in this film because he's just got this commanding presence. The voice, for example, whenever there's some dialogue segments between Benedict's character and Kirk, and whenever Kirk says anything to Benedict, as soon as Benedict starts saying his lines, you completely forget what Kirk has even said, because Benedict has got such a powerful voice, such a powerful presence. You are completely mesmerized by his performance because he is that good. If you've ever seen the TV show Sherlock, he's basically playing the same character. Imagine Sherlock only evil. You've got Benedict. You've got that kind of character in this film because he's got such wonderful stage presence, or scene presence, you could say, that whenever he's in the scene, you don't really pay attention to anything else but him, because he is that good. He is that great as a character. Now, the effects in this film, well, let me just say, I saw this film in 3D. Now, I haven't actually seen a 3D film in a while, so I think I sort of forgot what it was like in a way, because I felt a little bit disoriented sometimes throughout the film. Now, I'm not holding this against the film, I'm just holding it against 3D, because I don't like 3D. So, set the 3D aside, one of the problems about the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, this is the same thing in the first film, is that the phaser fight scenes, or the firefight scenes you could say, they're a bit too flashy. They're a bit too quick, a bit too fast-paced. You actually have a bit of difficulty telling who's shooting who. It's like, all you see is some flashing lights and bodies flying. You don't really see who shoots who so much. It's cleared up a little better in this film, but I've still got a bit of an issue with it. But it's a minor nitpick. It's not really a problem. Now, the action scenes, for the most part, they're great. Oh yes, the phaser fight, as I said, the phaser fight scenes they're a little better than the previous one, but apart from that, the fight scenes, they're great as well, because it's well choreographed. You believe every punch that's thrown, you believe all the action that's going on. You actually believe it's happening, and you can see, again, apart from the phaser fights, what's going on. Now, again, no spoilers, But one criticism about this film could be is that some of the ideas in this film, let's just say they're not very original. Now, again, no spoilers, so this may sound that may sound like a vague statement. So, okay, for people who have seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. But I do think that this film is better than the 2009 film because it feels bigger, because you see more of this universe, you see more of Earth, you see more of the Enterprise, you just see just so much more in this film than you did in the previous one. And I think that this film is a really good sequel to the 2009 version. And I'd be very interested to know what they're going to do in the third one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.